Dr. June Park gazed out the reinforced glass window, his breath fogging the surface as the massive alien starship drifted silently into Earth's orbit. The ship was unlike anything humanity had ever seen, a twisted metallic behemoth that seemed to defy every known principle of spacecraft design. The research facility buzzed with nervous energy. Dozens of scientists, engineers, and military personnel crowded around multiple screens, their eyes locked on the unexpected visitor. No one had anticipated this. No one had predicted the arrival of an abandoned alien vessel that would change everything. Woon Kim, the lead physicist, ran her fingers across the holographic display. Something was off. The ship's trajectory was too precise to be random, yet too erratic to be intentional. It was as if the vessel had been carelessly tossed aside, like a child discarding a broken toy. "It's been deliberately abandoned," she muttered, her voice barely audible above the low hum of computer equipment. Her colleagues leaned in, studying the intricate data streams that flickered across the screens. The ship's exterior told a story of battle and survival. Deep scoring marked its hull, evidence of intense combat or perhaps some catastrophic event. Burn marks and structural damages suggested it had survived something monumentally destructive. Yet here it was, delivered to Earth's doorstep like an unexpected and potentially dangerous gift. Military personnel tensed. Satellite imaging showed no signs of active weapons systems, but everyone knew appearances could be deceiving. The alien technology represented an unknown quantity, a potential threat, or an unprecedented opportunity. Dr. Park moved closer to the main monitoring station. Years of research had prepared him for extraordinary discoveries, but nothing could have prepared him for this moment. The alien vessel was massive, easily the size of 3 aircraft carriers combined. Its design defied conventional engineering principles, with sweeping curves and angular protrusions that seemed to challenge the very laws of physics. "Initial scans are showing multiple energy signatures," a young technician reported, her hands moving rapidly across the control panel. "But nothing matches our current understanding of propulsion or power generation." The room fell silent. Everyone understood the implications. This was more than just a spacecraft. This was potentially the most significant technological discovery in human history. Woon Kim's computer suddenly erupted with a series of complex data streams. Patterns emerged, fragments of alien communication, system logs, remnants of some unknown computational language. It was like discovering a book written in a completely alien alphabet, with only the faintest hope of translation. Outside, news networks were already broadcasting. Grainy satellite images and telescope recordings showed the alien vessel hanging in orbit, a silent testament to something greater than human understanding. Social media exploded with theories, speculation, and wild conspiracy theories. Dr. Park knew they had mere hours, perhaps days, to unlock the secrets of this extraordinary machine. The aliens who abandoned it clearly considered it worthless. But humans had a remarkable history of turning the impossible into the possible. "Prepare the initial research teams," he instructed, his voice calm but filled with an underlying excitement. "We're going to need experts from every field imaginable. Physicists, engineers, linguists, computer scientists, everyone." The alien ship continued its silent vigil above Earth, seeming to wait. Its very presence was a challenge. A challenge that humanity would undoubtedly accept. Little did the mysterious alien race know that by abandoning this vessel, they had just handed humanity the most incredible technological opportunity in their species' history. What they saw as garbage, humans would see as potential. What they considered worthless, humans would transform into something extraordinary. The first stage of humanity's greatest adventure was about to begin. At the Seoul Advanced Technology Center, a team of brilliant minds gathered around the first recovered fragments of the alien vessel. Hei Shin, a 38-year-old engineer with piercing eyes and an unbreakable focus, carefully examined a quantum circuit no larger than a fingernail. The circuit looked like nothing anyone had ever seen before. Its material seemed to shift and change under different light conditions, as if it were alive. Traditional scanning equipment failed repeatedly. Computer systems crashed. Sensors went haywire. This was technology so advanced it seemed to resist human understanding. "We need a different approach," Hay muttered, pushing his wire-rimmed glasses up his nose. Traditional methods would not work with this alien technology. The research center had been transformed into a high-security zone. Military personnel guarded every entrance. Specialized containment units housed the alien fragments. Each piece was treated like a potential world-changing discovery, which, in reality, it was. Dr. Sujin Lee, a quantum physics expert, brought something unexpected to the investigation. She noticed that the alien circuit responded to specific electromagnetic frequencies. When exposed to a carefully calibrated signal, the material would momentarily stabilize, revealing intricate internal structures. "It's not just a circuit," she explained during a team briefing. "It's more like a living system. It adapts. It responds. It communicates." Weeks of frustration gave way to small breakthroughs. The team discovered that the alien technology operated on principles completely different from human electronics. Where human circuits used electrical signals, these seemed to use quantum entanglement and wave-particle interactions that defied current scientific understanding. He Shin's breakthrough came during a late-night experiment. Using a combination of quantum resonance imaging and a custom-built quantum signal generator, he managed to create a temporary interface with a small section of the alien circuit. For 3 minutes, complex data streams flooded their monitoring systems. Mathematical equations, geometric patterns, and what appeared to be fragments of a complex language danced across computer screens. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the connection vanished. But those 3 minutes changed everything. The research team realized they weren't just looking at a piece of technology. They were looking at a fragment of an entirely different technological civilization. Each discovery revealed how limited human understanding truly was. Young researchers worked in shifts, analyzing every microscopic detail. Some fragments seemed to generate their own energy. Others appeared to have self-repair capabilities. One section, when accidentally dropped, reconstructed itself within seconds. Military advisors grew increasingly interested. If even a fraction of this technology could be understood and replicated, it would revolutionize human capabilities. Imagine spacecraft that could repair themselves, communication systems that worked beyond known electromagnetic spectrums, or energy generation methods that made current technologies look primitive. He Shin understood the weight of their work. This wasn't just about technological advancement. This was about proving humanity's potential. The aliens who abandoned this ship had considered humans insignificant. Now, they would learn how wrong they were. As weeks turned into months, the team slowly began to map the alien technology's basic principles. It wasn't about direct replication but understanding the fundamental logic behind its design. Each small breakthrough felt like solving an impossible puzzle. The quantum circuit that had initially seemed incomprehensible now started revealing its secrets. It wasn't just a piece of technology. It was a complex, almost living system of information and energy transfer. Outside the research center, the world waited. Governments, scientific institutions, and technology companies watched every leaked report with intense interest. Humanity stood on the brink of a technological revolution that could change everything. And at the center of it all was He Shin and his team, slowly unraveling the mysteries of a technology that was never meant to be understood by human minds. Little did they know, their work was about to transform not just human technology, but humanity's entire understanding of its place in the universe. The transformation began quietly, almost imperceptibly. Sung Park stood in the massive hangar, watching his human innovation slowly reshape the alien vessel. What had once been an incomprehensible piece of abandoned technology was becoming something entirely new. Hybrid systems emerged like living tissue. Human engineering merged with alien technology in ways no one had predicted. The ship's original quantum circuits, once stabilized by the research team, now pulsed with an entirely different energy. It was no longer just a piece of alien technology, it was becoming something uniquely human. The first major breakthrough came unexpectedly. A young engineer named Jimin discovered that human carbon-based computational systems could interface with the alien quantum circuits when treated with a specific nanocoating. What seemed impossible became possible through sheer human creativity. Propulsion systems that had been dormant for decades suddenly showed signs of life. The ship's internal structure began to respond to human modifications. Where alien designers had seen limitations, human engineers saw opportunities for radical reimagination. Military and scientific teams worked around the clock. Shifts ran continuously, with researchers taking short breaks, their excitement palpable. They weren't just studying an alien vessel anymore, they were rebuilding it, transforming it into something that defied its original design. Mysterious energy systems that had previously been incomprehensible now began to make sense. The ship's power core, once a complex puzzle, started responding to human modifications. It was as if the technology itself was learning, adapting to human touch. Sung Park watched as traditional rocket propulsion was gradually replaced by quantum drive systems. The ship's external hull, once a rigid alien design, now incorporated adaptive materials that could self-repair and modify their molecular structure. What the original alien creators saw as a finished product, humans saw as a starting point. Communication systems underwent the most dramatic transformation. Quantum entanglement principles that had seemed impossible to human scientists now became tangible. The ship could now communicate across unprecedented distances, using a hybrid system that combined alien technology with human innovation. "We're not just fixing a ship," Sung told his team during a late-night briefing. "We're rewriting the rules of what's possible." Each modification brought new challenges and unexpected discoveries. The ship's internal AI system, once a dormant alien construct, now responded to human input with increasing complexity. It was learning, growing, becoming something neither human nor alien. Specialized teams worked on different sections. One group focused on propulsion, another on communication systems, while a third team explored the ship's defensive capabilities. What had seemed like a hopeless task months ago now felt like an inevitable triumph. The transformation wasn't just technological. It represented something deeper: humanity's fundamental ability to adapt, to reimagine, to turn the impossible into the possible. The abandoned alien vessel was becoming a testament to human potential. Energy systems that once consumed massive resources now became incredibly efficient. The ship's quantum drives could potentially generate more power than entire human power grids. Navigation systems expanded human understanding of spatial mathematics. As weeks turned into months, the vessel began to look less like an alien artifact and more like a hybrid creation. Its lines were smoother, its systems more integrated. What was once a discarded piece of technology was becoming humanity's first truly advanced interstellar craft. Sung Park understood the significance of their work. This wasn't just about creating a new spacecraft. This was about proving that humanity could take something considered worthless and transform it into something extraordinary. The final tests approached. Preliminary simulations showed capabilities that exceeded all expectations. The ship could potentially travel distances that would take conventional spacecraft centuries, all thanks to human innovation and determination. Outside the research facility, the world waited. Governments, scientific institutions, and technology companies watched with bated breath. Humanity stood on the brink of a technological revolution that could change everything. And at the center of it all was this transformed vessel, a symbol of human potential, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit of discovery. The Vorax ships appeared without warning, massive and imposing against Earth's orbital lines. Their arrival triggered global defense systems and sent an immediate pulse of tension through every research facility tracking the transformed Starship. Jiun Nam stood at the International Diplomatic Center, her hands steady, her expression calm. She represented humanity's first line of communication with the alien race that had abandoned the vessel months earlier. Behind her, screens displayed real-time data of the approaching alien fleet. The Vorax communication systems opened a series of complex mathematical sequences and electromagnetic pulses that traditionally would have been incomprehensible to humans. But not anymore. The transformed Starship had changed everything. "We are here to reclaim our discarded technology," the alien transmission announced, their language translated through advanced quantum communication systems developed by human engineers. Jiun's response was measured. "The vessel is no longer your property. Technological artifacts abandoned become the property of the discovering civilization under galactic exploration protocols." The alien fleet hesitated. Their sensors scanned the transformed starship, unable to comprehend the modifications. What they had once considered a worthless piece of junk was now a technological marvel that far exceeded their original design. Defensive systems on the human-modified starship hummed to life. Quantum shields that could absorb and redirect energy appeared around its hull. The ship's adaptive materials shifted and changed, displaying capabilities far beyond the Vorex's original engineering. He Shin and his team watched from the research center, their months of work culminating in this moment. They had transformed an abandoned vessel into humanity's most advanced technological achievement. The Vorex fleet began to calculate potential conflict scenarios. Their initial scan showed a vessel that defied their technological understanding. Quantum systems, adaptive materials, energy redirection capabilities all integrated seamlessly into what was once their discarded technology. "You have violated technological transfer protocols," the Vorex transmission continued, a hint of desperation in their mathematical communication. Ji-un Nam smiled. "We have improved a technology you deemed worthless. Under galactic exploration statutes, technological advancement supersedes original ownership." Tension filled the space between the fleets. Humans had done the impossible, they had taken an abandoned alien vessel and transformed it into something extraordinary. The Vorex had made a fatal mistake in underestimating human potential. Military advisors around the world prepared for potential conflict. But the real battle was happening through communication channels, with technological superiority being the primary weapon. The transformed starship began a slow, deliberate rotation, displaying its modified systems. Quantum drives pulsed with energy. Adaptive hull materials shimmered, demonstrating capabilities that shocked the Vorex observers. He Shin's team had effectively reverse-engineered and enhanced every critical system. Propulsion, communication, defensive capabilities all had been reimagined through human creativity and innovative engineering. The Vorex fleet's communication became increasingly fragmented. Their initial confidence dissolved, replaced by a growing realization that they had severely underestimated humanity's technological potential. Negotiation is suggested, the alien transmission finally announced, a clear sign of their unexpected vulnerability. Ji-un Nam knew this moment represented more than a diplomatic encounter. This was humanity's declaration to the galaxy, a statement that they were no longer a species to be overlooked or dismissed. The transformed starship continued its silent, powerful display. Every system spoke of human innovation, adaptation, and an unbreakable spirit of discovery. What the Vorex had abandoned, humans had transformed into a technological masterpiece. As the tense standoff continued, one thing became crystal clear: humanity had just changed the rules of galactic technological engagement forever. The transformed starship, now Chris and Phoenix, stood ready for humanity's first true interstellar journey. He Shin watched from the mission control center, his hands trembling slightly with anticipation. Years of research, months of modifications, and weeks of intense preparation had led to this moment. The vessel that the Vorex had once considered worthless now represented humanity's greatest technological achievement. Captain Sung Park sat in the primary command module, surrounded by a diverse crew of scientists, engineers, and explorers. They weren't just a team. They were humanity's first true interstellar ambassadors. The launch sequence began with a low hum that gradually transformed into a powerful resonance. Quantum drives engaged, creating energy patterns that defy traditional understanding of propulsion. Where chemical rockets once struggled, this vessel would slip between the fabric of space itself. Earth watched. Every screen, every communication channel broadcast the moment. Millions of people held their breath as the Phoenix began its gradual ascent. This wasn't just a spacecraft launch, this was humanity's declaration to the universe. Initial trajectory calculations showed something extraordinary. The ship could potentially traverse distances that would take conventional spacecraft centuries in mere weeks. Quantum navigation systems predicted routes through spatial corridors that human scientists had only theorized about. Inside the ship, advanced life support systems created an environment that could sustain human life across unprecedented journeys. Adaptive materials regulated temperature, radiation, and internal atmospheric conditions with near-perfect precision. Mission control monitored every system. Each quantum circuit, each modified alien technology component performed beyond all expectations. What the Vorax had abandoned, humans had transformed into a technological marvel. "System check complete," Captain Park announced. His voice was calm, but everyone understood the weight of this moment. They were about to become the first humans to truly leave the solar system with technology that could rival advanced alien civilizations. The Phoenix's exterior began to shimmer. Adaptive hull materials adjusted to the increasing quantum field, creating a protective envelope that could potentially withstand extreme cosmic conditions. It was no longer just a spacecraft, it was a living, adaptive system. Communication systems demonstrated capabilities that shocked even the research teams. Quantum entanglement allowed near-instantaneous communication across vast distances. What once seemed like science fiction was now becoming reality. Haitian watched the launch screens, remembering the countless nights of research, the moments of frustration, and the breakthroughs that had made this possible. Humanity had taken an abandoned piece of technology and turned it into something extraordinary. The ship's initial acceleration defied all previous understanding of space travel. Quantum drives created spatial compression fields, allowing the Phoenix to move in ways that traditional rocket science could never have imagined. As the vessel broke through Earth's orbital lines, a collective cheer erupted from mission control. Cameras captured the moment, a sleek, almost organic-looking craft that represented humanity's potential, creativity, and unbreakable spirit of exploration. The Vorax communication channels remained silent. Their previous attempts to reclaim the technology had failed. What they considered worthless, humans had transformed into the most advanced interstellar vessel ever conceived. Captain Park's first official transmission captured the moment perfectly. Phoenix has left Earth's orbit. Humanity's first true interstellar journey begins now. Scientists around the world understood the significance. This wasn't just a spacecraft launch. This was proof that human potential knew no boundaries. Given the right opportunity, humans could transform the impossible into reality. As the Phoenix disappeared from Earth's immediate tracking systems, it carried with it the hopes, dreams, and potential of an entire species. The abandoned alien vessel had become something far more important, a symbol of human innovation and an invitation to explore the unknown. The universe would never be the same. Humanity had just taken its first true leap into the cosmic unknown.